right, welcome to Sidequest Sundays, where we are continuing our playthrough of Silent Hill 2, Born from a Wish. And if you aren't familiar with this particular sub-scenario, it was bundled with the Greatest Hits edition of Silent Hill 2, along with a UFO ending, and a few other little, just like quality of life things here and there, I think. If you've never played Silent Hill, this is the part, or Silent Hill 2 rather, this is the part where I say you should probably not be watching this stream since it gives away major spoilers for the young lady we're currently, with the revolver that we're currently seeing on screen. So if you've never seen Silent Hill 2, I do recommend you go over to, or you join me. Oh, which, by the way, I am Gola, a.k.a. John, your player and host. And I encourage you to join me on Tuesdays for Silent Hill Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to get the main quest of Silent Hill 2 under your belt if you haven't already seen it or played it, which it's a bit of a 50-50 deal these days since it's a PlayStation 2 game, and while there was a HD remaster available for the Xbox, I believe, or Xbox 360 and possibly the PlayStation 3, despite even without going into the horrible problems that HD collection has. Also, that's now a generation behind, and soon to be 2 generations behind. So playing a PlayStation 2 era game in this day and age is, you have to be dedicated, which thankfully we are. Now, let's see. Oh, I wish I remembered where we needed to go next. Let's see. There's the second floor. What else do we got map-wise? Oh, just the town map. Okay. Sorry, I gotta get myself re-familiar with the Baldwin estate. One Ernest Baldwin allegedly lives here, and if you caught my Makeup Monday stream, we basically came out of Heaven's Night, the strip club where Maria supposedly lives/works, and after surviving a few monster encounters on the mean streets of Silent Hill, we found ourselves in the Baldwin estate, and Ernest Baldwin himself behind the locked doors, talking about, well, he's basically a misanthrope. Sorry, I just heard. Oh, you know what it is? It's very windy today, so I just heard my bathroom door rattling, very spooky-like. I guess it sets the mode. Okay, so that's what we've unlocked a bunch of places. Maria could be doing better health-wise, so let's just get her back to the green. And let's see, we have our revolver, which we should reload. Which, yeah, a 10-gun revolver. That's already suspicious. I got the cleaver, but no new items. Let's see, do we have any good memos? Kindergarten Tombstone and Lost Memories. Okay. Not particularly useful. Well, shoot. I'm at a bit of a loss as to where we need to progress. Because let's see, we got locked off rooms there, locked off rooms there. Indeed. Sun parlor. Garage. Nope, all broken doors. So we have the entrance hall. know what? We might be done with... Wait a minute. There was an arrow. Okay, yeah. What's that arrow about? It's on the other side of the room. So let's flip the camera behind us and see what... Okay. Yeah, this is up to the little garden area. Okay, okay. I'm not at all... I'm at a loss of where to go now. Okay, so that was in here. Okay, so this is the entrance. All right, let's see. What would be a way out? Huh. Oh, okay. I can go up those stairs. Okay, up those stairs from the living room. Go up to the second floor. Go through that door there. Go back down the stairs and... No, those are all... Those are all broken doors. But that seems like where we need to get to. So I think the whole reason we're in this house is due to the street being blocked off, and this is the only way to really get there. Shit, maybe... Sorry, I hope you're all enjoying these finely done maps. Cause... Oh, and it doesn't even show us on this map. Well, fuck a duck. Alright, where to go? This is a danger of doing a small subquest like at this time. Now I have no fucking clue where I was supposed to be headed to. Let's see, guest room. I can enter the lounge. I think I already... Okay, I already went to the lounge. I already went to the garden. Dining room. Blah, blah, blah. All right, you know what? 2 seconds. I'm going to look this up. Currently looking it up. Oh, okay. Basement door. All right, so apparently the basement door is now open. I didn't realize there was a basement door. I don't see it, though. Okay, well, I'll figure it out. It's probably in this staircase. No. Finding fucking things in the Alps. Okay, so would it come from the service room? This is so confusing. Okay, I guess I'll go all the way down to where the... Oh, it would help to not be constantly running into that. And from here... Oh, nope, not the dining room door. That one doesn't even work. Oh, this just goes back up to there. But no. No. I need to go this. Let's try this way. That was dark as shit. Okay. And there's that door. So this is in the service room. Uh-huh. Hey, okay. Down we go. Oh, we don't have a map. Alright. Well, let's try the non-obvious door first. Oh. Well, let's try the other door then, because that sounds scary. Alright. This is the door it is then. Oh, fucking Christ. What is hitting me? Oh, god damn it. Jesus. Whew, alright. Fucking beetles. Fucking big bad Beetleborgs. Alright, Maria, what are you doing? We got our camera angles shifting on us a lot. Whew. Oh fuck, we are... Damn. Damn, those beetles fucked us. Keep out, Haunted Mansion. Well, fuck. Thanks for telling us that now. Ugh. Hate it. Okay. Well, at least we're back to normal, and we should be in. Really? I don't have a map of this area? It seems like we're just outside again, but okay. Whatever you say, Maria. Alright, so we need to find a white liquid. Oh, good. And it is absolutely pitch black. Right. Oh, boy. God, you know what would also make navigating much easier? If I had a flashlight. And the ability to see where I'm going. Oh, there's the map. Maria? Maria, honey. Thank you. Yay, map. All right. Where was it? Okay, room 105. Also interesting, Maria can see her map even though it's dark as fuck in here. Ooh, okay, Jesus. Fucking door sounds are putting me on edge. Ugh. Nope. That's a fucking nope for me. Ah, shit. Oh, the footsteps. Okay, if I turn... I see... Ah, there's the door. Okay. Okay, we're in. Oh, it's this puzzle. Something's written on the desk, but it's too dark to read. Well, let's take this moment to do a reload. Something else caught your eye, Maria? Or is it just that puzzle? Yeah, you are fixated on that puzzle, girl. Ooh, but a first aid kit, though. Oh, and there's a health drink. Oh, hey, a save spot. Excellent. All right, but where's our item? I'm seeing a lot of things. Did I miss it? There should be. Oh, unless I picked it up. Unless that wasn't a health... No, it was a health thing. Okay, it should be. There we go. Aces. Alright, let's get out of here before we encounter any spooky scaries. Alright, we just need to make our way back out. Back into the fog light. God damn it. Oh, Jesus. All right. Round 2, fucker. Where the fuck did you assholes come from? With your goddamn dissonant chord shit. Really? Damn. Where do these assholes keep coming from? I don't like. Oh, great. Now I have to... Gah! Run back through the beetle gauntlet? Oh, fuck you. Oh, come on, Maria. Open the door, please. Oh, fucking bugs. Bug took me down to fucking... Jesus. Well, shit. We are, I feel a little bad. This is going to be an extremely short stream. Since we are all done. Like, oh. This is still not part of his estate. I'll save again. Bop. Damn, I didn't realize we were so close to the end. I really don't have anything set up after this. Oh, yes, let's go up to the... I think Ernest should still be in the bedroom. Right? And I'm in the wrong stretch of hall. Oh no, what am I thinking? I'm a ding dong. That's going downstairs. I need to go to the room where Ernest be. Here we go. Here we go. We're making it. We're doing the progress.
Thank you, Maria. That's the only item I couldn't get myself. By the time I found out about it, I could no longer leave this house. So long.
Yes, but will...
Maria, the gods are here. You know it too. You were born in this town.
I'm not sure God is the right word.
Do you believe in fate?
Not really.
That's fine then.
Ernest, can I open this?
This is a dead end. There's nothing beyond here.
I know. So, what if I had said I believed in fate?
That James. He's a bad man.
James... Yes. I know.
He's looking for the you that isn't you.
Because he's kind? Do you know something?
Yes. Maria, you're...
Anyway, that's just what you think. You don't really know anything. That's fine.
Okay.
James.
Mary? No, you're not.
Do I look like your girlfriend? My name is Maria.
All right, and there you have it. The Born from a Wish sub-scenario. Delves a little into Maria's backstory without really answering much concretely. Like, it definitely more, it does answer like some character motivation questions, like why Maria is yeah, why Maria just shows up at all, and like it's more like it's more just an interesting like existential exploration of like someone who is like literally born from someone else's desires in order to fulfill them, but like what do they have to say about that? So like Maria's whole story there is basically all about her like not knowing why she exists to like hoping that there's a reason for it to exist, and even at the end when like the town is like planting the seed that will guide her to her purpose. Like it's really kind of tragic because Ernest is both his own like has his own like little interesting tragic story, what with his daughter dying and everything, and his need to bring her back at all costs, even though obviously at this point he's just another lost soul that's been engulfed by the town. And yeah, we're seeing some big ass spoilers in the bottom corner there, bottom left corner in specific. Another reason why you should not be watching this if you haven't played the full game. Yeah, because this pretty much goes through like all of Maria's stuff. But yeah, so it's in 1999 and 2001. How about that? Yeah, it's really interesting how Ernest is sort of the catalyst for the town to help Maria remember her purpose. All right, and we did action level normal. We saved 8 times. There's that pianissimo epilogue. And it took us an hour and a half. And we almost ran 3 kilometers. We went 3 kilometers altogether. A little bit over. Huh. Oh, that's right. So if you notice, the defeated enemy by shooting is so low versus defeated enemy by fighting, which is 29. It's because Silent Hill 2 counts when you finish them off with the foot stomp as fighting, as opposed to, even though in order to get them into a monster into a prone position, we basically just shot them full of lead. So it's a little weird. I don't know if I would. It seems like a little bit of an oversight, but you know what? Whatever. And we took 148 points of damage for what that's worth. Save clear data. All right. And with that, we've officially concluded Born from a Wish. But now we have a New Game Plus option. Interesting. I'm not sure what that entails, to be perfectly honest. I'm just going to check the brightness again, because, yeah, it's at max. It's at max, so I did all I could. But yeah, that was Born from a Wish. Interesting, but also sad little character piece, since we know if you played the main game, you know what happens to Maria, you know what purpose she serves, and it is a sad and tragic one. But I guess that's going to be it for this Sidequest Sunday stream. Apologies for it being so short. I didn't really have anything lined up to do following this, so... And I do need to eat something else other than a snack before heading off to bed. So, because I got to work in the morning. Those of you who have a weekday job will understand. Well, at least we can watch
James,
this.
honey, did something happen to you? After we got separated in that long hallway? Are you confusing me with someone else? You were always so forgetful. Remember that time in the hotel?
Maria?
You said you took everything, but you forgot that videotape we made. I wonder if it's still there.
How do you know about that? Aren't you Maria?
Ah, yes. Anyway. So yeah, Maria's sad story of just a being created solely to dole out punishment to another. It really makes you think like what the deal was with the town of Silent Hill. Like, the more optimistic look about things is that it's there to attract people with, skeletons in their closets, like that kind of psychological damage, and through kind of a, like, the only way out is an extreme example of the only way out is through, forces people to confront their demons and either defeat them and make peace with them, or die, pretty much. But that's the optimist take on why the town do what it do. I feel like the more realistic possibility is that the town feeds on these people's like damaged psychic energy. So it's more akin to like a Venus flytrap, making pheromones that will attract insects, or pheromones or smells that will attract insects. Much in the same way, the town is, sending out psychic waves, I guess, to vulnerable people and sort of giving them just that extra push into madness that will lead them to the town. I mean, in all three cases, in Angela's case, and we can talk about that. We can talk about Angela, we can talk about Eddie, since this is the spoilerific Sunday stream. I should rename it. Yeah, all three characters are running away from something horrible they did, or something they perceived horrible. So, James is sort of the in the middle one in terms of culpability. Like, he is definitely he killed his wife. Like, he smothered his wife to death with a pillow after just years of her fighting the disease and just the frustration of seeing her waste away and not wanting to see it anymore.
I'm here for you, James.
See? I'm real. I can't do anything through these bars, though. Entendre. So James is, killed Maria. Partially a mercy kill, but really it was for selfish reasons, so that's why he do a whole lot of suffering, and that's why we follow him. And then there's Angela, who's probably the more tragic of the three damaged people who make their way to Silent Hill. Angela, and it's implied in an article that, again, if you gosh, what is it? I can't remember. It's either you clear all the main endings or you beat the game on all the difficulty settings. Once you do that, any text, any article or monument that was previously had. Oh, there goes the controller. Spooky. Any monument newspaper that had text obscured, that will now be readable. So, like, the first example you really see is the monument about the history of Silent Hill. And there are several things there that are... there's several things there that you can't quite read. Once you've done the right stuff, you can read the whole thing. But there's also a news article that you pick up shortly before... much later in the game, encountering Angela again and fighting off basically one of her monstrous demons, known as the Abstract Daddy, if I'm remembering that correct. The news article is, you can piece together that it's about a teenager who ran away from home and someone died. It's kind of unclear who because of the way the text is obscured, but if you, once you can read that after meeting the conditions to get rid of the censoring bars. Nope. We're not watching this again. Nope. Sorry, Maria.
James, honey.
Maybe another time. Once you can read the full article with all the text no longer obscured, it's quite clear that Angela was being physically and sexually abused by her father, and in an act of self-defense, self-preservation, however you want to call it, she basically stabbed him with a knife, and he bled out and died. And she ran away because, well, shit, if you know anything about about American culture, it is very hard for someone who's being abused, sexually abused, to basically have their story. Wow, what the words am I trying to say? It's stacked against them. Like, if Angela hadn't run away and just stayed there, she probably would have been arrested. She probably would have been tried for murder and would probably spend the rest of her life in jail with no consideration over the and at this point we don't know. It could have been years of abuse, both physically and sexually, by her father to justify it as self-defense, but it's very unlikely that a court would see it that way. They just see, oh, you murdered someone, or you committed manslaughter, whatever, now you're going to be punished. As if being an abused teenager isn't punishment enough already. So it's perfectly understandable why she runs away, because from her perspective, there's no way out of this. Oh gosh, not again. Okay. So she runs away from her remaining family, and oh boy, the ever hungry for damaged people town of Silent Hill picks up on that and guides her to it, and she thinks, and we don't exactly know how much time has passed since she stabbed her dad and run away. Like, she could have been on the road as a homeless runaway for many years, or for a couple of years at that point. We don't know. But, the town does whatever it does and convinces her that her family is in town, and she's going to seek some kind of resolution for them. Of course, that isn't what happens. And interestingly enough, she sees her version of Silent Hill is constantly on fire, as well as has more yonic imagery than phallic. Or no, I take that back. Well, there's yonic imagery like on the walls and stuff. Her, but her, the one monster we do see that is associated with her, once again, the abstract daddy, is quite clearly phallic and particularly grotesque because it's no secret that you can tell what exactly it is. It looks like two figures, lying on one on top of the other, like underneath a bed sheet, while on what looks like a cot or makeshift bed, and it just has a mouth at the end of it that just constantly looks like it's screaming in pain, like, ugh. Like, the real thing, like, to make it any, like, it's a good thing it was that abstract, or else it would be just an awful taste. But since it's abstract, it gets the feeling and the disturbingness of what you can imagine is it's supposed to represent without actually doing that. Now, how survivors of sexual assault would feel about the abstract daddy, that's a good question. Unfortunately, I cannot answer it. But yeah, so I think out of all of them, Angela being dragged or being guided to Silent Hill and basically end up consumed by the town kind of proves that, like, the town is more of a predator than like a force to make you confront your demons. It's just looking for damaged people to swallow up and eat, because that's what happens to Angela, easily the most sympathetic of the three damaged people who make their way to Silent Hill. And then there's Eddie. Eddie, I give no fucks about. Like, Eddie is just like, I don't even know how to describe him as, except for as like a entitled like white boy who, you know, I guess the one thing you can say that's sympathetic about him is it's clear he was probably raised in like a very toxic environment with hypermasculinity and all that, since, you know, he's obsessed with solving all his problems with violence and getting revenge, and like, you know, like his big sin is he shoots a dog dead, and also injures I think the dog's owner, or like someone he knows. His backstory isn't as spelled out as Angela's, but it's still like he did so little, like, but it's all very typically like toxic masculinity, like lash out in anger, and then once that wave of adrenaline washes off, the fear sets in, fear of being actually held responsible for your irrational lashing out. So he runs away, and Silent Hill is all too prepared to accommodate him before it tries to consume him. And what he sees is very different than either Angela or James, where like they kind of see a world or a town that is hard to survive, much less like thrive in. Eddie sees just, you know, tons and tons of like monstrous humanoid people that don't seem to pose that much of a threat to him. Like, it's almost like the town is just giving him cannon fodder to just mow down with that giant revolver of his. And who knows, maybe that thing has unlimited ammo. It certainly does during his boss fight. So, yeah, the town Eddie sees is just like a shooting gallery. So, but of course which begs the question, like, the town must have had to rely on James to kill Eddie in order for the town to feast on him. Unless like him just like being able to indulge in that violent side of him with impunity was also giving the town sustenance it needed. And I don't know, maybe he was just gonna like keep going at it until he like rotted, like, you know, just withered away or something. But yeah, and you only see you kind of see hints of Eddie's world. Like, you know, there's the dead guy in the fridge in the apartments. Then when you encounter him in the Toluca Lake prison section, like there's just a dead body with like its face just blown out by obviously Eddie's revolver bullet, although he does deny it like the coward that he is. You know, shoot first, run away later, and all that. Yeah, other than that, we don't really get much of a peek at Eddie's world. Oh, no. We're not starting this again. But you may be asking, well, what about the fourth person who makes their way to Silent Hill? What about Laura? Well, Laura is an innocent. Like, Laura doesn't really have enough baggage for the town to really sink its teeth into. So, you know, she's almost just not even... she doesn't even really register on the town scale. Like, it's just... So that's why for her, like, she just sees an abandoned town covered in fog. Like, she doesn't encounter any monsters. You know, the world isn't on fire. Like, there aren't, like, weird humanoids that are easy to kill, like, around her. No, she just sees an abandoned town. That's it. And, you know, it's why she's, one, able to move around so freely. And two, why, like, all the other, well, I say all the other characters. I mean, Eddie is pretty ambivalent about Laura or about Laura's survival. Like, you know, James and Maria seem to be the only ones who actually give a shit about her. But, you know, whenever James, like, talks to her, confronts her about the town, is like, how are you surviving? She's just like, what are you talking about? There's no monsters. Like, I haven't seen shit. So, yeah, that's, you know, Laura just is not a viable food for the town. She doesn't have enough of that sweet damaged psychic energy for it to engulf. So it just kind of ignores her. You know, like, why would a tiger bother with an ant? That kind of deal. It's only interested in the big fish that are damaged. In a very, very, very twisted metaphor. Because you know, tigers fish. Well, I guess tigers do fish. They do swim. So I don't know. They might eat fish. They're pretty omnivorous. Oh boy, but we're way off topic. So that was, once again, that was Born from a Wish right there. In the can, Sad Maria, and especially considering what her role in Letter from Silent Heaven is. But still, I managed to stretch this out to almost an hour, so go me, just in my ramblings. And that leaves us with, well, not a whole lot to do on Sundays, so I'm going to throw it up in the air. Like, I might just do a quick stream of, like, whatever, like, little retro game I feel like. Might start a new game and not have it be a side quest thing. I do have a couple options there that I could start up, including one featuring a very well-spoken, sly, cool guy with a very silly code name. But we'll see about that. That's a whole lot of stuff to get into, and it's also something I've never played, so you know we're gonna be I'm gonna have to remember to pull up a guide on that. But enough of that shit. So Whoever's out there, thank y'all for joining me, even for this brief conclusion to Born from a Wish. And don't forget, this Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be continuing the main scenario of Silent Hill 2, titled Letter from Silent Heaven. And there's still time if you want me to pursue one of the 3 main endings, because unfortunately you can't pursue any of the bonus endings until you're in a New Game Plus. But if you have a preference over what you want me to aim for, it's not too late to have your voice heard, because there are 3 main endings. There's In Water, there's Maria, there is Leave. So if there's a particular ending you want me to shoot for, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to sort of play try not to play with any particular ending in mind and just see what I end up getting. Considering it's very interesting how the game kind of calculates what ending you will end up getting. It's not despite the fact that this is a game from 2001, it's the fact that it hides or obscures the criteria for getting certain endings, instead of, say, just giving you, say, in a Mass Effect or a Fallout game, just a few options, and in some cases they're clearly labeled, what is the good option, what is the bad option, which is come on. That's morality for babbies. Silent Hill 2 does the smart thing and doesn't really tell you what the criteria are for certain endings. However, they do make sense in the context. So, and considering we're in Happy Spoiler Sunday town here, so the way it works is, so the Leave ending is, we'll start with the Leave ending, because it's kind of I think it's what's considered the canonical ending. It's the ending where James confronts what he did, or accepts what he did, confronts the ghost of Maria, or Mary / Maria, puts her down for good, but decides to honor Mary's wishes by looking after Laura. So James basically enters into a restorative justice contract with his deceased wife by agreeing to care for Laura, the girl that bonded with Mary while they were in the hospital together. So that's nice. He leaves with Laura, and basically it's implied that he dedicates the rest of his life to making sure she has a good life, as a way of atoning for his mercy-killing actions. The Maria ending has James riding off into the sunset with Maria. However, it's implied through a few context clues, both in the ending scene and prior to it, that Maria is basically going to end up in the same situation as Mary did. It's implied she has some sort of disease that is probably going to be just like Mary's. It's going to be incurable. It's going to ravage her body. And James is basically going to be stuck in this, is just going to be stuck in another cycle, which he kind of deserves if he can't figure out that Maria is not meant to be a replacement, but meant to show him but meant to be as a punishment. So that's sort of my least favorite ending, because it implies zero character growth in James. Even though the same scene plays out with the Pyramid Heads, where he says he understands why they're there and what they're doing, it doesn't feel like he actually accepts his culpability and his guilt in Mary's death. like it feels very much like an entitled white dude being like, I did a good thing. I didn't kill her because I was being selfish. I killed her because she was suffering. Yeah, that's it. It wasn't just because I wanted to be selfish and, get to fucking someone else. No, that's not it. So like, at least in that aspect, the Maria ending is nice because he's just going to suffer again, just like in the game with its repeated killings of Maria. So yeah, you'd think he would see it coming given all he went through in the town, but that James is a dumbass. And then there's the in water ending, which is implied to be James committing suicide by driving his car into Toluca Lake. And that one's pretty easy to understand, like he just couldn't deal with the fact that he had killed Mary for selfish reasons and pretty much considered his life forfeit and just decided to end it, which is taking the easy way out. Like I said, like the leave ending is sort of the restorative justice, like going to be doing the hard work in order to atone. The in water ending is taking the easy punishment, the easy way out, just the easy punishment and dying. But how you get to those three endings is pretty interesting. So let's start with the Maria ending. So a big part of ensuring you get the Maria ending is by, and this is pretty obvious in hindsight, spending time with Maria. There's a heavy chunk of the game where you are escorting Maria through various parts of the town. Mostly just the bowling alley and the hospital. And then she'll pop up sporadically here and there to just confuse the fuck out of you. But the game keeps track of how much time you spend with Maria. Even in the section of the hospital where Maria decides to have a lie down, which how anyone could have a lie down in a haunted fucking hospital and actually get some rest is beyond me, but regardless, once you're on your own again and sort of like going through the hospital trying to figure out how the fuck to get out of there or get what you need, the more times you come back to Mary's room and visit her, like chatting and, chat with her, that pushes you closer to the Maria ending. I'm not sure if there's much more to that one in particular. I think maybe looking at Mary's photograph may also nudge you towards the Maria ending, but don't quote me on that. Also a big component also a subcomponent of it is when you're hurt, you don't spend a lot of time hurt. Like if you get hurt, you heal yourself up pretty fast. Versus like letting your health, be below average for a while. But that's less a factor for nudging you towards the Maria ending and more a factor for preventing you from triggering a different ending, which, while we're on that subject, decent enough segue, the in water ending. So this one is probably the most interesting in terms of how it uses the symbolism that it uses to convey how you get to that ending. So a couple of things. As implied, your health, if you get hurt, the longer you remain at less than optimal health, especially if your health is very low, like almost to the point where like you can feel like James's heartbeat vibrating through the controller, the longer you remain in that hurt status without healing, the more it pushes you towards the in water ending. The implication being there is that James is being so cavalier with his physical safety that it's clear that he doesn't value his life that much, and thus would make it easier for him to commit suicide. Or not commit suicide, to die by suicide. Gotta use the proper terms here. Oh, hey, Mojito Alexito, what is up? Welcome. Well, I am afraid this is basically a podcast style wrap up, since I finished off the sub scenario pretty early. So we're just chatting about spoilerific stuff about the endings at this point. But thank you for showing up. Oh, cool. But yeah, so what I was talking about was the 3 endings. Kind of went over the Maria ending and the criteria you need to do to ensure you get that. And so talking about the in-water ending and some of the things you need to do to nudge James towards that direction. So I mentioned the health thing, just keeping your health low and not healing for extended periods of time. The other thing is, after you get the knife from Angela, which curiously you cannot use as a weapon, it's just in your inventory. The more you examine the knife, every time you examine the knife, it nudges you a little bit closer to the in-water ending. Because again, the implication there is that James is spending so much time obsessing with this knife that, clearly Angela, it's almost not even implied, it's almost explicit. Angela was intending to use that knife to take her own life. Like, the more you as James look at that knife, the more it's implied that you are also considering death by suicide. So that nudges you. That's another thing that nudges you towards the in-water ending, and it makes total sense. Like, the health thing, examining a person, a knife that's implied to be someone's suicide knife, like, pretty clear. It's pretty ingenious how, like, in hindsight, that all works to justify why you get that ending. The leave ending is probably the most interesting and one of the more difficult ones to meet the criteria to. It's not really that difficult depending on how you play, because I feel like most players, especially if you're like just kind of like trying to get through as fast as possible, you'll probably end up with the leave ending, since its criteria, you have to spend as little time with Maria as possible. Obviously, you have to. So that basically means, like, once she joins James, like, you want to get her to the hospital as fast as possible, get her in her little room where she's going to take a rest, and then don't see her. Like, aside from dropping her off, just be like, all right, you're good. You got your pills. I'm going to go try and get us out of here. I will see you later. And basically never see her again. So that's the one main thing you have to do. Avoid Maria. Like, spend as little time with her as possible. The second thing is the opposite in terms of their health versus the in-water ending. You want to maintain your health level as high as possible at all times. And should you get damaged, or should a monster attack you and hit you, you want to heal up from that as soon as possible. And again, pretty brilliant there. So you don't want to spend as much time with Maria, because that's sort of implying that James knows something's up with Maria, and that, and it's kind of like, how could you not? Because she looks exactly like Mary. So, it's kind of like, doing it that way kind of implies that James knows something is amiss, and so he keeps his distance from Maria because none of this sits well with him. And then the healing as soon as you get hurt, or just basically maintaining, like, avoiding getting harmed, it's pretty obvious, like, this is a version of James that that still cares about his life, that doesn't want to die, and will take any means with necessary to ensure he survives. So he both doesn't form an attachment to Maria, so he avoids the Maria ending, and he doesn't seem to have any suicidal tendencies. So that pretty much leaves him stuck with Laura. And by stuck, I mean, like, in the best possible way. Like I said, the leave ending is very restorative justice. Like, it's probably the most mature ending out of the three of them, at least in terms of James's character growth, because he has seen the error of his ways, he's accepted his guilt, his culpability, he's accepted what he's done to Mary, and rather than take the easy way out, he instead decides to spend the rest of his life atoning for that by looking after Laura. So it's easily the best of the main endings, and you can see why it would be considered canonical. Of course, it's only those endings that are available in your first playthrough. We all know what the true ending to Silent Hill 2 is, but you gotta be in New Game Plus in order to get that. It's, of course, involves a pesky little Shiba Inu. And to say any more, well, I mean, I'm sure you've all seen it, but yeah, everybody knows that's the true ending of Silent Hill 2. Even though in this Grace Hits edition they did add the UFO ending, which would become a staple in the series, at least under most of the Team Silent games. I'm not sure if Silent Hill 4 The Room had a UFO ending though. But that one's kind of an oddity in and of itself. Like, everyone knows how, like, it started out as sort of like a Silent Hill adjacent game. Like, it wasn't meant to actually take place in Silent Hill, but it was meant to take place in the version of the world that had Silent Hill in it. So, sort of implying that, like, Silent Hill is not unique in terms of it being a, like, eldritch location. Like, it's kind of implied, like, what they wanted to do with Silent Hill 4 was, basically do, hey, here's another place where there is also an eldritch location, and, put some characters through that particular ringer. But Konami did Konami things, so it ended up awkwardly getting welded into the lore and canon of Silent Hill, what with Walter Sullivan and all that shit. But yeah, and that's about, and now I think about the Rebirth ending, which is heavily hinted at in Born from a Wish. Hell, like, the final objective of Born from a Wish is to retrieve the white liquid that old Ernest wants in order to resurrect his dead daughter. And of course, Maria finds a book that describes the ritual needed and all the items needed to perform the ritual to resurrect a person. So but again, that's an ending that's only available in New Game Plus. So we'll see if I feel like playing through this again. If I do, it probably won't be for a while, but I wouldn't mind seeing some of those bonus endings. I've honestly never gotten the UFO ending. Like, it's easy to, like, the thing you have to do is pretty straightforward, but some of the locations you need to, like, it's very particular. You have to be standing in just the right spot to trigger some of the locations. And if you miss one, none of the other ones will register. And it makes sense, because what's the point? But I don't know. I might eventually circle back around to another playthrough of Silent Hill 2 someday. in order to finally witness the Silent Hill 2 UFO ending. But I think I've hemmed and hawed enough for now. This podcast style stream feels like a good place to close. So I'll just leave you with this. Thank y'all for joining me once again. And if you're interested in some more Silent Hill 2 action, the main story is going on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. For Silent Hill Tuesdays. In addition to that, if you're all about something a little more uplifting, but also somewhat challenging in terms of what it says about the medium of video games and the potential for it to be art, Undertale is, of course, continuing on Retro Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And let's see, do I have any other any other housekeeping duties? Oh yes, okay. Yes. So, and as always, this stream and all my streams I archive over on the YouTube channel, which is Gola Plays, which that nice URL is going to be youtube.com/user/LordJohnStone. Just in case you have a hard time finding my channel. I don't know, some people are watching it, so some people are finding it and commenting on it. But yeah. And so if you want to catch the beginning of the end of the Born from a Wish playthrough, it's going to loop again. No, sorry, Maria, we've seen you already. Yeah, so if you want to catch the beginning of the end of the Born from a Wish playthrough that wrapped up tonight, it should be, I'll make sure to have it up on my channel tomorrow. Probably towards the end of the day, because I got to work during the day. And you can go there to catch up on all the streaming I've been doing. Like if you missed any of Paper Mario, if you missed any of Mother 3, if you missed some of the beginnings of Silent Hill 2, both the sub-scenario and main scenario, all that is right there for you. And if you feel like it, why don't you subscribe, keep up to date on that, and do the other things, the liking of the video, the commenting on the videos, this. I guess you could ring the bell if you have a lot of subscriptions to keep track of. I don't know. I tend to keep mine pretty thin, but I can't speak for all of YouTube users. So yeah, you can do all that stuff. It helps somehow. I mean, I don't think I'm anywhere near a point where like I'm going to be making any money off of this. At this point, it's mostly just to, replay some of the games I grew up with and wax philosophic about them, and maybe talk with some like-minded people via the internet in these times of the pandemic where talking to people in person is a bit of a dice roll. So on that note, I'll end the way I usually end, by asking everyone to wear your masks, wash your damn hands, maintain social distancing when you can, and don't forget to check out that little URL up at the top corner there if you're looking to give back to Black organizations, as well as Black people in need of assistance directly. Like, if you're white or POC, which you can probably tell the textbook definition of white, do like me and pay your reparations. If you can, pay directly to the Black people you have in your life who need some help, because it's always good to keep it local, and it will definitely be appreciated. Although you should do it out of a desire to do the right thing and not expecting a reward. People who expect rewards are not good people. It's like people who are religious, who just follow the religion in order to get into heaven, or whatever the equivalent of heaven is. Like, you're not really good. You're just towing the line so you can get a reward. And that's not nice. That's just not a good thing. You should care about Black lives because Black lives matter. And aside from that, if you all do that, I appreciate it. If you can't do it right now, just pass that URL around. You can post it on your social media, do whatever. Because the more people who see that there are people out there in need, the more likely that those people will get the assistance and the reparations they need and deserve. All right, well, I think I'm done for the evening, so I will bid you all adieu, and I hope you have some fun in the not-too-distant future in these trying times.
James, honey.
And find a little bit of happiness in your own ways. Good night.